Hey, how's it going, everyone? Carlo here from All You Can Board. As always, I'm here with my cousin Dylan, and we are back for another rating and roasting your collections video. I think this is, what, the fourth or fifth one we've done, maybe?
It's fourth, yeah.
Something like that. So for those of you who don't know, we just have people send in photos of their collections, and we talk about
Trash
them,
them.
and mostly just trash them, yeah. We've kind of held back. We're starting to try to get a little more, we've had people tell us, oh, you guys didn't, give people a hard enough time or whatever, so we're trying to get there. But yeah, we'll talk about it at the end of the video in case you want to submit your collections for these. We'll tell you at the end of the video how you can do that. Otherwise, we've got 5 very exciting collections to look at. I'll mention 3 of these were sent in from our Patreon supporters, so thank you very much to those folks. Anything else you want to throw in before we get into this first one here?
No, I'll just quickly add, we'll talk about more at the end, but I'll just quickly add that we do prioritize patrons. We have non-patrons there in the video too, but if you are a patron and you submit, you'll sort of be bumped to the front of the line. It might not be the next video, but in the next couple, you're definitely going to be featured.
Cool. And yeah, I think, if I'm not mistaken, most, if not all of these people actually said something along the lines of like, do your worst, I've got thick skin, or bring it on, or
One
whatever.
of them specifically said, take it easy on me.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Okay, I was about to say, let's roast the shit out of these collections, but like, maybe, I don't remember who said that now. Okay, we gotta take it easy on one of them then, but...
It's this one said, take it easy.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, he can handle it. He can handle it. We'll talk about that when we get to his, but yeah.
All right.
Shall we kick it off with the first one, which is Tina, who again is one of our Patreon supporters and fellow Portuguese. Thank you so much for sending in your collection, Tina, and for being part of our Discord community and all that. Very nice collection here. I love the presentation, nice shelves, even just like the walls and the rugs, the floor. Very, very welcoming kind of gaming area already.
Yeah, I like when we see horizontal shelves because we often see so many like vertical shelves that go a lot higher than this.
Yeah.
So when you have a space like hers with the window and everything that had to accommodate, it actually fits and works so well here.
Interesting for you to highlight that when there's clearly no top shelf billing though. And you're okay with that,
There is,
right?
it's right there.
Well, that's off to the side. Top shelf building would be blocking the window.
Tina, you know the rules.
Clearly she doesn't.
Your top shelf billing. The best game in your collection is Bears versus Babies, and there's no denying it. That is top shelf billing, and you should have thought of that before you sent in your photo. Of this.
Wow. Let's take a look at this starting from the left here, I guess.
Sure, yeah, let's do it.
So first off, an entire shelf to the blank of the blank series of games, whether it's West Kingdom, North Sea, whatever. I haven't played any of these yet. I think you've only played Architects, right? Which you got rid of. You didn't like it very much, right?
It's not that I wouldn't say I
think
didn't
you said
like
you
it.
hated its guts and would refuse to play it.
That's what I was going to clarify.
Okay,
yeah. I'm sorry. It wasn't so much that I didn't like it. It's just that I never wanted to play it anymore.
Fair enough. Yeah.
No, I actually did. It just like it competes way too much with other worker placement games in my collection. It was never going to see play.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm eager to try at least 1 or 2 of these just to see what all the hype is about. But
Raiders
yeah.
of the North Sea, I've heard, is really good.
Yeah.
And
Viscounts, is it, or
yeah,
Paladins? I can't remember.
I think it's Viscounts that has the Rondell that I've heard really good things about too.
Yeah.
So, and there's new ones coming out as well that I'm hoping we can get our hands on because I'd like to try more of these and be able to start comparing
and
them.
maybe Tina can point us in the right direction of where to start. So we'll be hitting you up about that, Tina. So let's take another look back here. We got, the Grizzled, Mountain Goats. Ghosts of Christmas is a kind of newer trick-taking game that I'm really curious to try. It's got some, like, time travel stuff going on.
Yeah, got Rez Arcana and Great Plains, 2 big hits with you there.
Yeah.
That's going to be a favorite
love
shelf
those games. Yeah, definitely.
I'm not a big fan of Karuba. Have you played it?
No, I haven't.
I played it twice, back-to-back. This was years ago now, at Across the Border Gaming Cafe here in Winnipeg. Okay. I didn't really like it, and it might just be because it's more of a family-oriented game or whatever. I know it was nominated or won the Spiel des Jahres. I think it was just nominated. So I had high expectations, but yeah, wasn't too impressed.
No, fair enough. You just hate families, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Word for word.
The moment you had a kid, I was just like, you became a family, and I was like, well, that's going to be a problem.
I'm going to point out before we even get any further, I'm already noticing, Tina, that you don't keep your 2-player only games in their own spot. Mr. Jack is 2-player only, Great Plains is 2-player only, but it's on the other side of the shelf. We're going to see plenty of other 2-player only games just scattered all over the place. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
It's like you don't care about your games at all.
Yeah.
God.
Show some respect.
I love that you have Monstrosity. It's apparently a
amazing
hard
game.
one for people to track down. I know that because I've been trying to track it down because Carlos the one who owns it. So yeah, good on you for having that.
I will point out Dinosaur Tea Party up here. I tried it on Board Game Arena. It's a cool game, but it's probably not best on Board Game Arena. It's like a fancy updated version of Guess Who. I think that'd be pretty fun to try in person. I would definitely like to try it in person.
I don't, not a big fan of the names that are facing one direction and then names that are facing another direction.
You can just flip the box over.
I think you just have to flip some boxes because we'll get to. There's a few other ones in here too. It's just you might not like it, but for the benefit of the people looking at your shelf, you got to flip the box upside down or the other way around so that Trek, for instance, is flipped the same way as Block is Duo. But
fair enough. Some people don't have to do this with their hands.
exactly.
It's
I'm gonna come over. I'm gonna be like, sorry, what game is on your shelf here? I don't know.
Yeah, you just can't read it with your looking straight on.
No.
Again, what Patchwork is on its own. Lost Cities is on its own. Royal Visit. Get these 2-player games together on the same shelf, Tina.
Yeah.
Unless you have some method to this madness that I'm just not picking up on here, but. Even below Targi, Seven Wonders Duel, like you have a lot of good 2-player only games to your credit, but just organization could really use a step up there. Why is Welcome 2 on a different shelf from Welcome to the Moon? Come on,
that's a big offender.
Wait, what's going on here?
We're curious if your love of Silver Bullet and all the expansion in here is in any part due to Foster the Meeple, but because you seem to have gone all in on that game. I don't know if there's more expansion, more packs that exist.
I don't know. There's quite a few of them, but.
And I will also say that I'm very happy that you have Enchanted Plumes, but I don't like that you're keeping it in the dark, in the back, in the shadows. Bring that to the forefront, get it into the light.
Get some additional lighting back there at least if you're not going to feature it up front.
The plumes need to be lit to be appreciated. Also, the Mind and Hanabi and No Thanks. There's some good ones hiding back there that you might want to think of bumping up to the front.
Yeah, there's a bunch on this shelf below it that I haven't heard of. Gubs, what is that? Rat-a-tat Cat.
I just want to say how great of a name Gubs is.
Yeah, I guess.
Something about just being yeah, you guys want to play Gubs?
Maybe it's Goobs.
That's what I call the things that are in the corner of my dog's eye that I pick out. So I hope it's not called Goobs, but it could be.
Fair enough. We've got this kind of party games shelf at the bottom. I mean, Fort snuck its way in there. That's not a party game.
You can't have. You don't have this. Do you have as much fun when you play Fort as you would at a party?
No. Okay. No. I've only played it once, and it was
what truly classifies a party game? Isn't every gathering a party in some form?
It's just a tableau building, deck building kind of game. But yeah, lots of interesting ones. So Clover's obviously one we love. Letter Jam I really want to try. I like word games. I'm also going to say we kind of glossed over this shelf over here with some big hitting titles from before.
Yeah.
Cascadia, Terraforming Mars, which I know you like a lot more than I do, but Calico, Brew, Space Base is one I wasn't crazy about. But yeah, lots of good titles overall. Yeah, Paris, La Cité de la Lumière, great game.
You just, every chance,
I have to get in there.
My thing is saying, if he's wrote in videos, yours is going to be speaking French pretty soon. Just so we're going to be like, oh
gotta find a way,
this French is so good.
It's not very good. But thank you.
That's pretty good. And you also and you speak Portuguese, and there were some kind of Spanish games in someone's collection. You said the Spanish,
No, it was the Italian. Well, no, the Spanish.
No, you're right. I think it was
Italian.
Italian. See, Carlos speaks 5 different languages.
I don't speak those languages. Some of them are similar enough that I can infer what something means.
Any of our Italian fans, Spanish fans, whatever, feel free to send us messages in your dialect. Carlo will be happy to respond in your language. So.
Can we switch over to the photo with a better angle for these ones here?
We have a better angle.
Yeah,
on that one.
but we've got Radlands, Cat Lady, great games here. Hanamakoji, which I've really wanted to try.
You really like King Domino because you've got King Domino Origins, Queen Domino, and King Domino Duel, the dice version here.
Wow.
Or dice or whatever it is. So yeah, you must be a huge fan of King Domino. It's a great game. Just I've only played the one version.
Is that Sleep Tight? What are these obscure games? Oh, she's got Quiddler. Remember when we played that with Kevin? That was actually a surprisingly fun little game.
I do remember. Yeah, what is Sleep Tight?
I have no idea. It's got too many obscure games we haven't even heard of.
Yeah, Shot and Cotton.
Castles of Burgundy just kind of looming in the dark there.
That's Castles of Burgundy.
Oh, the dice. Okay, I was going to say, or card game. Yeah, it's a pretty small box. Mm-hmm. Biblios is a great one. Happy to see that there, Tina. More Fox in the Forest. Again, 2-player only. What is it doing there? Put it with the other ones. Just my eye twitches when I see this. But
what do you think about the fact that Carcassonne is relegated to being a table for
I don't
Sushi
like
Code
it.
Forbidden Island?
Here's the thing I especially don't like about it, Tina. It'd be one thing to just put some small box games on top of it, but you put games that are metal tins, if it hasn't already yet, over time, it's gonna leave an outline from the tins on your. And is this the 20th
Are you
anniversary.
complaining about someone's cover of Carcassonne?
Well, I mean, it's the way that it's been intentionally being treated.
Do I need to put your cover of Carcassonne on the screen again? Do I need to show the fans?
I told you that was a friend of mine who did that. He left it in his car.
And you still haven't replaced it.
No. It's nostalgic to me now.
Someone. Carla's birthday's in March. Next March, that's what you got a lot of time. If you're wanting to buy Carla a birthday present, someone buy him the new version of Carcassonne.
I'm gonna get the 20th anniversary myself by then.
Do you approve or not that she has for Micro Macro Full House and not the original?
I was thinking about that. I wonder, I hope for your sake, Tina, that you had the original and then maybe passed it on to someone else to try out, because if you're going from Full House and then you're going to go back and play the original, you might be a little disappointed. I think the original is a lot simpler, but either way, happy to see Full House there. Micro Macro is definitely a series that deserves all the love it gets. Great games.
Yeah.
You got a stack of the Unlock Escape games. Kind of curious how those compare to the Exit one, which I've only tried one of.
I like the choice of Quacks, Camel Up, and Cold Express on the same shelf because of the thematics.
Okay,
and
fair enough.
The
And if you like
attraction of the
family,
yes,
gateway,
exactly.
kind of.
I can't speak for the other ones, but those three I feel like are good games to put on the same shelf.
How do you feel about the fact that, you know, a game that you love so much like Quacks did not make top shelf billing, which this shelf does have apparently?
I mean, I wouldn't give Quacks top shelf billing. Well, I guess I could give Quacks top shelf billing, but actually, I might have even at one point or another given Quacks top shelf billing.
I think it did have it at some point.
But there are a couple up here that like I wouldn't like. I haven't played, but I am not surprised would get top shelf billing, like Istanbul and Rococo.
I think.
Rococo. I've heard stuff about those that like maybe they're good enough and they warrant it, but yeah, I'm surprised that Quacks doesn't get it with all the Unlock games getting it, including Star Wars Unlock.
Star Wars Unlock, yeah.
And then even a game like Quirky Circuits, which I've heard is fun.
But, it sounds so good. I really want to try it.
Risk Game of Thrones gets top shelf billing. My God.
And Battleship, classic. By the way, I got a highlight right here in this top left shelf here. Arrayal and City of Spies, Estrela 1942. Tina, loving the Portuguese representation of the games. I know you, like... Tina sometimes posts pictures in our Discord when we have our board game haul section showing, and a lot of the time there's these Portuguese games that I want to get my hands on. I'm so jealous of some of these. Down here, you'll see later, Lisbon Tram 28. I've been trying to get that, so Coimbra. I love that you're into the Portuguese games. Yeah, Coimbra.
I'll start this by saying I'm a big fan of choosing to take like, you know, game components or just like Rubik's Cubes and stuff like that, and like spicing up the cubes. That's something I want to do with mine. What I'm not a fan of is you just blocking the entire Ethnos name with a Rubik's Cube.
Rubik's Cube.
Like Ethnos is a great game. I already have a problem that it's at the bottom of the stack under a game like Coimbra, which is still good, but like,
pretty heavy. It's gonna do some damage over time. I think
is a better game, I think. But the fact that you also just really pour salt in the wound of Ethnos by also covering its entire name, so now someone who just looks at this is like, oh, what's S? Because that's all they can see. Yep. They don't know they don't even know it's Ethnos.
Look what you've done to Dylan.
Yeah, just devastated. You've got a really good shelf here. We talked about this before early on. Hansa Tucana, Kate May we haven't played, but I've heard some good things about it and I actually want to play it. And Gingopolis you just grabbed. So,
Yep. How do you feel? I know it bothers you seeing, again, the horizontal and vertical games, just different shelves, all different ways.
Yeah,
like,
I mean...
I feel like you're taking it easy on Tina
I'm
here.
definitely cooling on that being as much of an issue because I'm finding that I'm starting to have to do that with some of my shelves or consider doing it with some of my shelves.
Right.
But I will say that I think you have the space to do them all one way, and you have most of them. Oh no, it's an even split, I guess. And I can't.
You're trying to let her off.
I also just want to know, like,
don't want to.
I just want like, there's some I could be like, okay, maybe this is the reason why, but like, why is this shelf right here with Coimbra and everything horizontal, and then this shelf with Gingopolis and Orleans vertical? Like,
who knows?
Like, why can't they just be the same?
Who could truly say?
And if you're gonna do a mix of both, you need to have patterns. You need to do like horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, and then like offset them, especially because you have the baskets offset. Then you have this nice like
true
formula to it.
I will say, Tina has mentioned they play a lot of games as a family with Tina, her husband, and their 2 kids. So like, having 2 kids, I'm gonna let her off the hook a little bit. Busy things in life. Maybe the kids go organize the games different ways when she's not watching or whatever. So
are you gonna have top shelf billing when your son is old enough to grab games, or you have to put your most valuable ones up top so he can't grab them and ruin them?
Hard to say. I haven't thought that far ahead. Okay, I don't know. He's 9 months old. That's not a problem I have to worry about. Now he's not even walking.
Then
I'm not thinking ahead to keeping games out of his reach. I got bigger problems.
You really should. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't adopt Top Shelf Billing, you better put a Grickle around the bottom where you can grab it. Then and we'll see what happens to your Grickle.
I'll probably put some random components in the box so you can pull out and wreck that aren't the actual Agricola components. But yeah, you can see the kind of like, what is that? Race the Treasure, Robot Turtles. These must be old kind of like family games they played with their kids when they were younger, maybe.
Why is My City and Shrink Wrap? It's such a great game. You need to,
you gotta dig into that campaign.
Especially because eventually when you're done it, you might not want to keep it. So you need to get it open, get it played, and then you can pass it on to someone else.
True.
Or keep it. You can play it after, but I feel like I played it once after, and it definitely lost a lot of its luster.
Yeah, fair enough.
Castles of Burgundy, Obsession, Winter Kingdom, Witchstone, a bunch of great games.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of games here that we either already love or really, really want to play. A lot of these are actually on my shelf of, I'm going to call it shelf of unplayed games rather than, because there's no shame.
Yeah,
no shame.
There's shame.
But yeah, I don't know. Not much else to say here. I think we've probably spent enough time critiquing this collection.
You have a solid collection.
And complimenting a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit of compliments.
Yeah.
Solid collection all around. We are moving on to Jonesy, who is also one of our patrons, and we've talked to as well.
He's the one who I think asked us to take it easy on him.
He did.
But he can handle a bit of roasting. Jonesy, you can handle it, right?
Sure, yeah. And luckily, like, it's... Well, no, I'm not going to say luckily because then we might end up roasting you like crazy. And you're going to be like, oh, you said you're going to take it easy. Okay, so we're going to start here with the fact that, first of all, we have a really nice setup here that is basically a mix of gaming and board game, which I'm all for because I love both. And it's cool to kind of see both, different realms combined here. You obviously have the PlayStation 5. And if you're buying a PS5 early on, you're definitely a gamer. So
I will say I would have preferred if the TV was turned off for the photo. It's just a little distracting. I'm like, what games do you have there? What's that icon?
What if he had it on, but it was on an all-you-can-board video?
Oh, yeah, another missed opportunity, Jonesy.
Missed opportunity.
Oh my God.
How often have you watched all-you-can-board videos on this TV? That's what I also want to know.
Yeah, I don't know. Is this like his frequently used? No, it doesn't look like. No, I'm just kidding.
So we have some small games here at the top, but I think me and Carl have some questions overall, and we'll kind of highlight them as we go. But
one quick thing though, we got to mention he did say that he's only been in the hobby for a few months, so we got to be take it easy on him a little bit here, right? So
totally. So I'm wondering if that factors into the fact that you have so many games in shrink wrap. That's what my main question. I was gonna say my main concern. It's not really a concern.
You should be concerned. I mean,
yeah, like Radlands, for instance, is like I'm so happy you have it in your collection, but the fact that it hasn't been played yet, I'm just like, and you only need one other person to play. Like that's. If you've played other games at 2 players and you haven't prioritized Radlands, like...
But maybe he just got it for the collection roast to please you, and then he's just going to sell it to shrink, you know?
It's very possible, but like
just playing to the crowd. Like, nice one, Jonesy. I mean, I respect in a way, but like you should probably play it too.
Mysterium's also in shrink wrap, but that one I could almost say like, hey, we just came out of a pandemic. We're still like dealing with the effects of the pandemic, and it requires a higher player count. So,
so does this mean that Jonesy is the type of person who leaves his games in shrink until he's actually going to open the rules and play them? Because we've had these discussions before in our Discord and stuff about like, when we get games, we usually open them up, punch out the components. Like it's part of the process of getting new games. But so in a way, I admire the restraint that you're showing here, Jonesy. But also, like if you're just sitting around at home and you want something to do, open up some of these games, man. Like there's plenty of joy to be derived from that. But
Cat Ladies also looks like in shrink. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, and the expansion. Yeah. Chronicles of Crime also in shrink.
Yeah, Clank and Everdell and Nidavellir, all great purchases. Like Nidavellir I'm not as hot on, but Everdell and Clank I love a lot.
Yep, I know he's been enjoying Nidavellir or whatever a lot on Board Game Arena. But is that in shrink? It's in shrink. Look at this plastic. Okay, and maybe he just realized from playing on Board Game Arena that he doesn't need the real version. This is also maybe an older photo. He sent this in a couple months ago.
I think
no. Not letting him
I am convinced now that Jonesy wanted to send in his collection for a collection row, so he just went to the store and bought a bunch of board games and placed them around.
Kept the receipt. He's like, "What's the return policy on the Jonesy? Send us a current picture. I want to see if you still have these."
I need an updated photo. And I need to see how many of these are either still in shrink or definitely still in your collection.
He saw how much you love Overboss. Went and bought that right. Hasn't played. Okay, Dune Imperium. We at least saw in our Discord. He had pictures of it set up, and he did play it. Aeon's End in shrink.
Is Gloomhaven in Shrink? Did you play Gloomhaven at least? My God.
It's hard to... He's so disappointed.
Well, some of these are like fantastic games in Shrink, like Overboss and Aeon's End and Mysterium and Cat Lady and Radlands. Like these are all in Shrink, and that's only one side of the shelf. We're going to see more in Shrink right away.
But I, to be fair, I think for someone who has only been in the hobby for, at the time when he sent the photo, at least for a few months, he does have a lot of games. So maybe he just wanted to have a lot of variety and didn't know, you know, sometimes you do the you want to hit your threshold for free shipping or whatever.
But like Carlos said, next time you're having a down day or something like that, and you just need something to pick up, open some of these games and punch out some cardboard. It's extremely satisfying. Some great smaller box ones here, like Point Salad, Patchwork, For Sale.
For Sale, we love,
Crypto. Even, it's funny, you have the Blockbuster
game here, which we played. Is surprisingly fun.
Yeah, the best moment, we're going to tell you this right now, whenever, I don't know if we'd ever get a chance to tell the story.
It's true.
We were playing the Blockbuster game, and me and Carlo were on the same team, and so we had to guess each other's clues. And if you haven't played the game, it has a lot of stuff to do with like charades, things like that, but to do with movies. And Carlo gets up, and all he does is he goes towards the wall and goes like this, and I go
Good Will Hunting.
Yes, exactly.
No, I think I went looking like this first, and then as soon as I started pretending to write, you're just like, Good Will Hunting, and we all went, what?
Everyone looked at like, excuse me, like how did you, are you guys cheating? I don't know why I clued into that. For some reason, him at a wall.
Yeah, it's the one movie where someone goes to write on something.
Apparently, Good Will Hunting. It's probably one of our top 10 most like professional looking board game moments that we've ever had.
Some real telepathy going on.
Really good memories with that one.
And that's not surprising because we know Jonesy is a movie buff.
Yeah,
right. He reviews movies and stuff. So
yep, definitely. Marvel Champions, love to see it. Not in Shrink. Also very important.
Yeah. Azul, classic. Most people have Azul.
Splendor, Role Player, Downforce, King of Tokyo. Like these are all ones that we've either played and enjoyed, or ones that we know that a lot of people get a lot.
Yeah, Downforce is great. I would really like to play it in person. I've only tried it on Board Game Arena. It's a great game.
Yeah, I think Braden's been trying to grab that one.
Awesome game.
Seven Wonders in Shrink, Istanbul in Shrink, Seven Wonders expansion in Shrink. I can't tell if Suro's in Shrink.
Might be.
Great purchases, but I hope you have plans to play them.
Yeah, Killer Bunnies.
Deserve to be played.
What is that?
Killer Bunnies I've seen on the shelf multiple times at game stores, and it's one of those games that I've never heard talked about, so I never look into it. But I just see it a lot. It was kind of the same thing with what's it called, Pelican Island or whatever, Pelican.
I know which one you're talking about.
Whatever. Yeah, and like I kept seeing it around like all these stores, and I'm like, I need to Pelican Bay.
Pelican Bay, yeah.
And then finally played it at a board game cafe, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, but we've seen it on some
maybe that's why I've seen it on
crazy
some
sales. Yeah. Oh, also, we do know that, like, maybe I think it was last week, by the time you're saying this a week or two ago, Jonesy did pick up a copy of Modern Art after watching us play it on our live stream. So awesome purchase. That's probably, in my opinion, that's the best game you own now, and I hope you get to play it a lot and enjoy it, because it's out of stock pretty much everywhere. I know a lot of people are struggling to get it, and I
hope you get to open the box too.
Yeah, you got to start by opening it first. But
no, this is honestly a great collection, especially if you just start. Like you've picked, I know that some of these are in Shrink likely because you just haven't had a chance to play them, but you went hard into board games like we all do and bought a whole bunch of the ones you want and you've heard us talk about. So great choices all around, and you just have a great little area here. Like this is the type of like little man cave shelf area that you love to see when you have like your games, you have your setup, your video games, you have a PS5, you got your like PlayStation trophies, and like obviously you're a PlayStation fan as well. It just
a really nice little hobby zone kind of thing.
Yeah,
but great. just if you're gonna send us a picture again, either turn off that TV or like Dylan said, put on some AYCD in the background, because I don't need to see your PS5 welcome screen. That has nothing to do with your board games.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks Jonesy for sending in your collection and for being a Patreon supporter and such an active member of our Discord. We love having you there.
All right, next we are looking at Mark, who's also a patron. Sent us in his collection. He broke it down by shelf because it's fairly large.
Oh, wait. Before we get in, I will just say he did clearly point out top shelf billing is not a thing to me. I hate top shelf billing. The concept is ridiculous. Whoa. I've never heard of it before, and I don't think it should ever be a thing. He goes on for a while about top shelf billing.
3 paragraphs on top shelf billing. He doesn't say he hates it. He just says he's never heard of it before the original roast video. I feel like I'm glad that I'm bringing it to light for more people. And
there is an interesting way that he organizes his collection, which we won't point out right away, but for viewers, maybe you'll figure it out.
Yeah, and if not, then we will point it out.
Oh, it absolutely is going to be. I've got a few things to say about that.
So this is the full shelf that I'll show really, really quick, but we're going to kind of jump into the breakdown because it's just easier to see the games. So we've got this first one here.
And he did say to just like go to town on this, but I'm pretty sure he welcomed a pretty
heavy roast.
pretty heavy roast. So don't hold back too much here. Right?
Yeah, I won't. Then let's talk about the fact that 2 of your very important shelves for board game real estate are taken up by Nemesis, which I'm not saying is a bad game. I'm not saying that I've never played it.
But does it justify the real estate that it's taking up?
Yes. Yeah. And the fact that you even mentioned that it's currently screwing up your organization, because if you haven't guessed yet, the organization is alphabetical. And you admit that Nemesis is one of the things screwing up because you don't want to go and fix all your shelves with Nemesis. So is Nemesis really adding joy to your life? Or is it more just a burden to your shelves?
Yeah, how much do you love Nemesis?
We have not played Nemesis.
No,
so
we haven't.
It could honestly be phenomenal and warrant 2 shelves. I know people would probably criticize my old setup with Rise and Sun taking up an entire cubicle.
Right. This one has a good mix of games that I've either played and really like, or a lot of games that I haven't played but want to try. High Society is amazing. I absolutely love it. The Mind is great. No Thanks is really good. I've played Arian Soul. Railroad Inc. I just played recently on Board Game Arena. Really fun game.
It's interesting that you have only Codenames Disney version. I guess. Oh, sorry, that's a family version. It could just be because you play it mostly with your family. But normally you see Codenames and then people have added on to it with like other versions. So it's interesting.
Oh, finally, our third collection of the day. But this one has Cat Lady, but not the expansion. But 3 people in a row with Cat Lady. That's interesting.
Is
You think that's the AYCB effect?
I mean,
we have talked about it quite a bit.
We could say that.
I'm claiming AYCB effect.
It was the first ever video on our channel, Cat Ladies.
Yep. We've talked about it in our filler games video as well. But yeah, good stuff there.
Gigantic Hanabi box. Mine is like this big when you set it up on the side. This one's taking up an entire spot there. Yep. But it's the deluxe version.
Medium sounds like a really fun party game. I've played like they have it on their Twitter where they put up things like that. It sounds pretty cool.
I did not know they made a Mass Effect version of Risk. Man, Risk has. I bet you every video game's got a Risk version.
Oh, I didn't even know. That's the Nightmare Before Christmas 25-year collection chess. Damn, Mark.
We need a photo of
that. Why did you not highlight this? Nightmare Before Christmas chess? That sounds awesome. 2 Seventh Continent boxes. Yeah. That's a lot of Seventh Continent. Not as much as Nemesis, but
holding up a Harry Potter deck builder on their shoulders.
Nice. There's a book here, a mystery book. I don't know what that is. Maybe you mentioned in the email, but I can't remember.
You only have season 2 of Pandemic Legacy. Is there a reason you skipped season 1 completely?
Have you even heard of these games? That's something The Cursed and Fired Up.
Yeah.
Never heard of these.
What is 5 Tribes? I'm just
kidding.
I've never heard of it.
5 Tribes.
Whoops. Okay, so next section of the shelf here, we got Azul, of course. It seems like most collections seem to have Azul now. It's such a popular game.
Yep.
You have the Gears of War board game. Jumping down here for a second, I'm really curious. Sometimes with these adaptations of like video games, they're just very much a cash-in, or if not a cash-in, like they don't warrant their existence quite enough. I'm just kind of curious what the Gears of War one is like. Right. I have no idea what that is.
Oh my god. Sorry, we gotta jump up into the right one cube. He's got Bob Ross, The Art of Chill.
We've seen that before.
I know, but it's like, I'm surprised at how many people actually have this game, and funny, I feel like no one ever actually talks about it. I'm curious to try it, but
I'm very curious to try High Rise.
Yes,
I've seen
me too.
I've seen it played. I really want to.
It's a pricey game and it's hard to find, but I really want to try it. Glenmore 2 Chronicles, I have at home. I haven't tried it yet. Really want to play.
Your On Tour box is gigantic.
Yeah, On Tour is bigger than On Mars. What the heck? What is going on?
On Mars, you're just
right. You're just on Mars.
It's everywhere. Man, I didn't realize there was that many games that start with On Mars, On the Underground, On Tour. Jeez, my On Tour is a lot smaller. Like, and I have a different. It's not like it's also Europe and US. What is in your version that's making it gigantic? I'm so curious.
I've never even heard of, like, what's Freedom I haven't heard of. Okay, Petrichor, this is Collector's Edition 2, is one I really want to try. Sounds like such a cool theme with the clouds and everything. Wait, go down. Yep. This game, I hate when games do this with the Q thing. Quarrior's Qualtimate Quiddition.
You hate alliteration?
Well, when they're made up words like that, they're tough to pronounce. Yes, not alliteration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just made up alliteration.
It's not Qualtimate Quiddition. Well, you just skipped the whole bottom shelf. What are you doing? Smaller Warcraft, Smartphone Ink, which you didn't have Smartphone Ink on one of your games you want to buy most.
I really want to get Smartphone Ink. I think I'm actually really going to enjoy that game. I just have to. It's not that I can't find it. It's that I need to take the plunge. But I got so many games I want to play in the backlog that I'm not going to be able to play it for a while.
Right. Yeah. Space Base, I've mentioned before. I wasn't crazy about it the one time I've played, but also could be a board game arena thing.
Sushi Go's great.
Yeah, Summer Camp, which even though you love Phil Walker Harding, you didn't even know this game existed until like a week ago.
No, there's a lot of Phil Walker Harding games that I feel like I'm finding out about that I don't know exist, and I need to like just go through his backlog.
Well, he forgives you, so it's okay.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope so.
He's got a
Carcassonne 20th Anniversary Edition. Beautiful. Love to see it there, Mark.
Showing up Carlo really well.
No, he's not showing me up.
Century. He's got 3 different versions. Which one's your favorite? I'm really curious because I've only played the first one. You've played the first one in Golem?
Yeah, Golem is just a re-theme of Spice Road, but
These are the
I do
actual,
like the Golem.
3 different versions of
Yes,
the
I'm pretty
original.
sure. Yeah.
Ooh, that's Inish. I didn't even notice that at first. I love the box of Inish.
Yeah,
it's hard to read.
Cyclades and Inish are both like big kind of area control fighty games that I've really wanted to play both of them, but just haven't had a chance yet.
Yeah. Have you finished King's Dilemma? Because I just finished it, and it was such a great experience the whole way through, and I'm really curious for other people who have finished the whole campaign what they thought. So yeah, let me know.
Wait a sec, I just realized. Le Havre, is that his only Uwe Rosenberg game?
I haven't. Well, there was definitely no Agricola Feast.
Yeah, and
so
we haven't
the
seen
offense
like
there.
Yeah, interesting.
We'll have to keep our eyes on.
A little bit insulting.
Yeah. What do you think about this little area right here?
Love it. Relics of Raja Vihara as a game. I'll talk about it on the channel one other day. I'll do some type of review. Awesome. Solo only kind of puzzle game, sort of like you're solving different Zelda dungeon puzzles. Really happy to see that there, especially next to Res Arcana, which I also love. Mm-hmm. Really nice games there next to each other.
You have the Kingdom Hearts Talisman, which I've never played Talisman. I don't know what's like.
I didn't even realize it was a Kingdom Hearts version. Yeah.
But the fact that it's Kingdom Hearts, I respect, because Kingdom Hearts, at least the first 2, like growing up, Kingdom Hearts was one of my favorite franchises. Yeah. So yeah. He's
got a couple big giant Rising Sun box. Okay, so wait, just between I don't know what this other game is next to it. Something. What does that say? Oh, Is that Twilight Imperium? Twilight Imperium something Rex.
Twilight Imperium Rex or Hex,
like an expansion or something. I don't know. But how much of his shelf space is just between Rising Sun, Nemesis, and what was the other one again? There was some other big game that he had there.
I think it was just...
Seventh Continent.
Oh, right.
That's 3 games taking up like probably a good
shelves.
10 to 15% of your shelf space, Mark. You gotta reassess your priority. Maybe get rid of one of them. You better be getting your money's worth out of those and your playtime worth.
Yeah. What do you think about this? This is where I respect that you have an organization method that you're sticking to with the alphabetical, but it is a shame when you see a game like Deception next to a game like Dune
Imperium,
so
especially
different.
Like the premium box of Dune Imperium, upgraded components and everything. Okay, Elysium is one I've heard a lot of things about that I really want to try.
Yeah. Obsession, Nidavellir. We're never going to say that right because everyone, I think, has a different opinion of what right is. All I know is that in Avengers Infinity War, he says Nidavellir. So that's what I've been trying to say.
I think he says it even worse than that. But
Nidavellir.
Moonrakers is one that we actually just got a copy sent to us for. We were hoping to play that, but haven't yet. Millennium Blades is a cool one I've wanted to try. It's like almost like a self-contained deck construction game, sort of Magic style.
Yep. He's got Wingspan, he's got Sagrada, he's got Role Play, he's got Root. Which expansion do you have for Root there? Which the one expansion you picked up? The Riverfolk expansion.
Oh, look at that fancy Role Player box.
I know. I was wondering if that must have all the expansions in it or something.
Yamatai, Wonder Woman, Western Legends, Wingspan, a lot of big name games in here. Some we haven't. I was just going to quickly point out because that one had Escape Plan on it. We saw on Mars on another one. At least put your Vital Lacerda games together or something.
Yes, true.
But again, when you're alphabetical,
you stuck to alphabetical. But hey, every time you buy a game now, how hard is it to try to fix the shelf with the alphabetical? There's a bunch of stuff around the top. We won't spend too much time on it. But we've got like a whole tin of Formula D. Extra fired up minis. Fireball Island.
Oh, there's his Codenames and Codenames Duet.
Oh,
it's in that box,
right.
so he does have them. Yeah, Cards Against Humanity has been relegated over here, rightfully so.
Yeah, we've got. He says these are on the top because of their weight, and like he has a gigantic site. Twilight Imperium.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Twilight Imperium.
Oh yeah, okay.
So maybe that's just an expansion.
Yeah, an expansion. Why are they not together?
Yeah, especially because you just put the other Twilight Imperium right on top there.
Exactly.
Anachrony Infinity Box Midar, which is a game I will never buy, but so badly want to play. But it's a story like campaign game, so I'm gonna have to get like one of my friends to buy it so that I can like
fair enough.
Campaign or whatever. And then you got a whole bunch of really nice organizers for Dominion, Pandemic, Elder Sign, Sentinels of the Universe, Splendor,
Multiverse. Yeah. That's one I really want to try.
Yeah,
I've heard really good things about it.
And Metal Coins, I've wanted to get that for so long. Oh god. You don't.
Metal Mess.
I didn't even laugh.
I'm sorry. I was
just gonna put crickets in there.
I was so entranced by the engravings on the Dinosaur Island or Dinosaur World box. I was like, that's really nice. I kind of zoned out for a second there.
Fair enough.
But wait, before we move on, I just have to say, Mark, the reason why I'm going to criticize the alphabetical selection is that alphabetical is good. Like, obviously, it makes sense in like a library because there's so many books. How are you supposed to find these by author? But like, you don't have enough games for you to stand in front of the shelf and be like, someone want to play like, oh, let's say Pandemic. Oh, where would I ever find? Oh, let's look in the P section. Like, I'm pretty sure if someone wanted to play Pandemic or Twilight Imperium or On Mars, you'd be able to find it just fine. And I was saying, what about when you buy a game that's like a letter in the middle of the alphabet, letter M, for example, especially a big box one? Are you actually moving every single game over to the shelves and then reorganizing just for adding one game? What if you buy multiple games? Like, I can't imagine.
How long is the alphabetical going to stand the test of time? In 6 months, are you going to have given up on alphabetical, or are you going to be reorganizing that shelf? Because really,
and have you always organized it that way, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, if you really do reorganize it every single time you get new games, I mean, that is more power to you.
Well, especially because the time it saves when game night rolls around, you want to find a game. Does that offset all the times you're having to reorganize games to fit things alphabetically?
Yeah. It's interesting. Let us know.
Yeah.
I'm very curious.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it with my collection, but I respect that you've done it with yours.
Yeah. Thanks once again for your support on Patreon and for
sure.
sending in your collection, Mark. Really appreciate it.
Next here we have Adam. Yes, Adam's collection. And Adam
Did he have any special notes for us in his email?
I don't know if he had special notes in his email. Let me just double check here to make sure I'm not missing anything important. He was a new subscriber when he sent us this, but he sent us this a while back, so now he's an experienced subscriber. He mentions specifically...
God, I can't believe he even says, oh, Feast for Odin is better. I've only played Agricola on VGA. Well, that's your problem.
Hey, you have to say it louder so that I can fix it.
No, saying that. He says, please feel free to go to town if you rate my collection. And now it's personal. I will go to town now that you've said a Feast for Odin is better.
And he also... Actually, you know what? I'm going to highlight this now that you mentioned Feast for Odin. Before we even get into it, let's quickly show he actually created his own insert for Feast for Odin and Norwegians. And he sent multiple pictures for this, but I'm just going to show one. But so this insert you're seeing here, he actually created himself. And he has sent a bunch of photos showing how it fits in the box and everything like that. So that's pretty awesome.
I respect it. It's unfortunate that the base game of Feast for Odin wasn't good enough and that you had to get the Norwegians and build your own custom insert just to make it better than Agricola.
Well, maybe he's not just an animal like you and puts all his components into bags and just like throws them in the box. Wouldn't he care whatsoever?
Well, I mean, it comes with its own insert. You're not an animal.
Last time we played Agricola, Carlo was done. He was just like tossing bags in the box from across the room and stuff. Like just.
I think I threw them on the ground first, actually. But
stepped on them a couple times. All right, let's get to the collection here. So
let's not forget the other photo at the end, though.
Yes, for sure. So this is a one shelf collection here, which is nothing wrong with that. We all start, and this is actually like there's a lot of games on the shelf.
Oh yeah.
So you all start somewhere with that full galaxy. Soon you'll have 3 galaxies.
Top shelf billing.
Top shelf billing with Gloomhaven. Love it. Love to see it.
Maybe it's just because it's too big and you just want to take up
it fits
a
in the
full.
Calyx. It fits in the
I know,
Calyx.
but maybe you don't want to take up a full Calyx square with one game.
I think a lot of people probably end up with games like Gloomhaven and Too Many Bones and stuff like that on the top shelf billing. But I do respect.
I feel like if it's top shelf billing, he'd be presenting the front of the box instead of just like the side.
I also respect that he's clearly knows like he's all in on Gloomhaven because he's done the whole
he's got the cards
the binder for the store and all that kind of stuff. Hallertau, Feast for Odin,
at the Gates of Loyang, I don't think we've seen this is probably 20, 25 collections we've looked through now. I don't think a single person we've seen has had At the Gates of Loyang, and especially to not have a bunch of other Rosenberg games, but to have that one is an interesting choice.
And Hallertau and Feast,
but it's one I want to try.
Being like the 2 of the best Rosenberg games out there is great that you've selected those 2 to start your shelf off here.
I'm not gonna acknowledge that, but
Gaia Project, which is one we
want to play it so bad. Yeah,
I'd like to try
Kanban. Me too.
I don't think I'd buy it.
Me too.
I mean, unless I loved it.
Yeah, my favorite thing about the idea of that game is just like the person in the factory, Sandra, who's always giving you a hard time about stuff. Just awesome. Yeah. Wait, you skipped past Gugong. Was that? Nice.
Oh yeah,
there's another one we want to try. Underwater City. There's a lot of these kind of medium to medium heavy Euros that we just haven't played yet. More of the blank series.
Doom, I didn't even know it had a board game. Again, same question as the last one. Like, how does it translate from a video game, from a first-person shooter video game into a board game? Very curious. Kind of same thing with Gears going from a shooter to a board game.
Yep.
Root.
Is that also River Folk? Underworld, I think it is. Okay, different expansion. Pax Pamir, I really want. Like, the theme doesn't really pull me in that much, but I've just heard such good things about the game and just the way it looks. I'd love to try it.
Another Smartphone Inc.
Yeah, Obsession. Genotype, which I have at home and I've not tried yet, but it sounds like a really cool theme.
I like how one Shem game.
2 and Explorers. They both got. But Circadian's First Light is up on there.
Isn't that made by the same?
No. I mean, it's Renegade Games, but it's not the same designer, I don't think, and it's not part of that series of like.
It must be the same. It must be the same person doing the artwork. Maybe not. I don't know.
No, I don't think so. That's not the Miko. And look, you know what it is, I think? Because the Tome Saga is the West Kingdom, which are these three, but this is North Sea, and these are both North Sea. So, okay, we're going to let you off the hook here. We're going to let you off the hook here.
Ex Libris is one I wanted to try for a while and haven't tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one there.
Shelfie Stacker is one that I thought looked pretty interesting on Kickstarter. I didn't end up getting it, but yeah, it looks pretty cool.
This is my problem with games like Zombie Dice and stuff, is like even if it's a good game, it would pain me so much looking at it on my shelf. It's just like this cylinder tin that I can't fit anywhere. It has to just stand on top of something.
Very odd.
I just want my game. Call me old fashioned. I just want my games in a box. I don't even like tins. That's one thing I don't like about Sushi Go parties.
Yeah, fair enough.
That it comes in a tin. So.
Run, Fight or Die. Never heard of.
No, QE. That's one that.
QE sounds so good. Definitely want to try that out.
Evolution: The Beginning. Is that like?
That's a mistake. That's a mistake.
That's a mistake.
If you're gonna play Evolution, you gotta get Evolution Climate. It's the way to go. It's so good. It's the best version of Evolution in my opinion. But
Underfallen Skies is
it's got a bunch of these games that I've enjoyed but have decided to cull. Underfalling Skies and The Search for Planet X are both games that have, and Welcome to the Dungeon. These are all ones that I've really enjoyed. They're great games, but just haven't stayed in my collection for whatever reason. What is that? The Toughest Lesson of All?
Yeah, I looked at that. I have no idea what that is.
Never heard of it.
There's a lot of, like, I will say that starting off at the beginning of this shelf from the top down, I really like the organization, and I feel like this is less your fault and more just because the size of game boxes. But as we get
them off the hook,
as we get lower down, you start to get these games that are just stacked on top of each other in weird positions to fit more games.
Another blockbuster game here.
Oh yeah, man, is that more popular than we realize, or is this just complete fluke?
Maybe it's another movie buff here. I don't know. Interesting though.
Glitter Gem on top of just one and stuff like. I get why it's there and it fits, but like there is something that is quite not as appealing when you have to stack games on top of each other. So
Wavelength, awesome, love it. Codenames.
You got Jaws of the Lion as well. I wonder if you played through that one as well as the actual full box Gloomhaven.
Yeah, and do you also have separate binders and things for organizing, or does it all just fit in the box? Okay, Forgotten Waters is one I really want to try. Kind of more like thematic, narrative-based game that sounds.
I think this is the white box that he called out in the email, so we wouldn't comment on it. That is one deck dungeon stuff in it.
No, the one above one deck dungeon. That one has Sprawlopolis and Agropolis, which are great games. I'm glad you remembered to point that out.
Yeah.
Good Dog, Bad Zombie, After the Virus. I haven't even heard of these games. Like,
oh my god, those are two different games. I thought what you just said was one game.
Oh,
Good Dog, Bad Zombie, After the Virus. I was like, what the hell is this game?
Also, shout out to the original version of Pandemic, which you also have. Yeah. I know, I was going to say, not many people have that.
Yeah.
But
this is a good starting
Zombie
collection.
Side, lot of big box kind of Kickstarter games, but also some of the classics mixed in there.
Yep. You got some organization stuff I think you got to work on, but just like I think most of that will be alleviated by you getting another shelf, which I'm just telling you right now, you might as well just get another shelf. This collection's not going to stop growing. You're going to need more room. So
also, two things. One, I don't think there's a single, as far as I can see, No. Oh well, wait a sec. Now you're making me rethink everything.
Is there any Knizia games on here?
I don't even
think there's a Knizia game on here.
No Knizia. Okay.
Oh.
No Knizia, no deal.
How many points does he lose for no Knizia?
I can't believe we didn't even notice until now.
17 points?
Well, I don't know if there's any points left to gain if you have no Knizia.
No,
what do you get points for?
Well, he can go into negative. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, right. Fair enough. Yeah, well, I mean...
So we'll give you negative 17 for...
Wow, so he was at 0 before Knizia.
No, it wasn't.
I thought you said negative 17. Well, you said negative 17.
I'll say for these first 6 cubes, I would have put him somewhere like 25 points. And then...
Some arbitrary. We've never given points in these videos.
No Knizia, minus 17. No Agricola plus 55.
Wow.
Yeah. From me, maybe minus 10 from you as well.
Yeah, it doesn't register the negatives on that. But
so you're still, I would say you're still probably in the positive.
But I was going to say, there's not a single 2-player only game, at least that I can see.
Yep.
There's no Lost Cities, there's no Battle Line, there's no Seven Wonders Duel, there's no Patchwork, like none of those games. And I think there's also a bit of a lack of the small box card games. Arboretum, The Crew, I don't know, where are all these games?
Yeah.
Doesn't allow to be big box games. Adam, try them out.
There's some really good, really amazing small box games, and especially at 2 players. So
yeah, but there is still some good variety. I don't mean to, there's a lot of party games down there and stuff. Maybe he just tends to play games at higher player counts. Maybe a 2-player only game just wouldn't get as much
Very
play,
last
but
thing
yes, I was going to say
show really quickly is that not only did he build his own insert for Feast for Odin, he built his own gaming table. This is a gaming table that he
Damn.
built himself. He actually sent the steps of like everything he did. So awesome!
Very nice.
I'm very jealous. I love the sunken in felt tables. That's what I've always kind of wanted for the space. I think I'll get it at some point. But yeah, awesome.
There's nothing to roast here. Honestly, that
So
I
good.
admire that, and it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, leaning up against the radiator, is that the topper? So maybe you can actually, like, especially if you're playing games like Gloomhaven or Jaws of the
comfortably
Lion.
fits 6 people too around the table.
And you want to leave and come back to a game. Maybe you have pets, you don't want them to get out. You just put the topper. So very nice, Adam. Thank you very much for sending in your collection, and
Awesome.
respect your hustle on making your own table there. That's awesome.
And the very last one, with no notes here we need to consider, is Reggie, who sent in his collection. It is a smaller collection because he just started in May 2021 collecting, so it's only been a year of collecting board games, probably less from when he sent
And
this in.
I'm going to go ahead and say right now, I'm pretty sure Dylan is the reason he got into other board games, maybe. And maybe you can correct us if I'm wrong, Reggie, but I seem to remember that he joined our channel around the time you were putting out a lot of Marvel Champions stuff, and it seems like he's joined the non-Marvel Champions side of board games.
I won't take credit for it until you confirm or deny that I was the reason you got into other board games, but I do see Marvel Champions. I will say that I'm going to comment on this right off the bat. If you were like, if Marvel Champions helped kickstart get you into this, and you're like obviously a huge Marvel Champions fan, why is Marvel Champions so low on the shelf and underneath Ticket to Ride and Project L? Get that thing get all these books off the shelf. Like, I have no problem with books. But like right now I have a problem with books, and that's get them off the shelf, put Marvel Champions up there, and get it surrounded by some plants and nice stuff. That's what you need to do.
But you love Jerry Seinfeld. He's got Is This Anything by Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah,
so you wanted to get rid of that.
Game of Thrones is on there. Like,
Wait, why? Also, Reggie, why do you only have the first Game of Thrones book? Is it
because he's smart and he knows that he's never going to finish the series.
Well, but I'm just curious if he even started, or he thought maybe I'll try it out with the first one, or did you get rid of the other ones but keep the first one? I'm just always curious about this. Like,
I also like you only have a single pop figurine, and it's T'Challa Star-Lord from What If. What was it specifically about that one figure you have to have, or is that specifically a rare one that you like are proud that you got? I know there's tons of them out there. I'm just really curious why that one.
Carcassonne, love to see it. Love to see it.
Jaipur, The Crew, Cockroach Poker, Sagrada, it's
a mix of some like old classics and then some very new games. Like King Domino Origins is very new. We haven't had a chance to try it yet. But it's got The Crew. You got to respect that.
I like looking at fledgling collections like this to see like what you decide to start your collection.
Yeah, it's always interesting.
And like you have some really solid choices, because even something like Dice Throne is such a great game in the early stages of a collection, because it's a quick play, it's 2-player, and you can expand on it as much as you want if you want to get into it, right?
And you're not at the point where you're like, I already have so many games I can't justify more. You have space on the shelf.
Yeah.
But I am going to say, for someone who just got into the hobby, May 2021, you have Yahtzee here. So what I'm curious, is Yahtzee like an outlier? You had this one from your childhood, or maybe you saw it at a thrift store for a couple bucks or something? Or did you get into the hobby and say, I'm going to go buy Yahtzee? Because...
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. I'm not going to rag on you for it. I haven't actually played Yahtzee since I was 7 or something like that. So I don't really remember much.
Carlo's just lying here because he has framed Yahtzee boards in his game room.
My wife got an all-time high Yahtzee score or something with her friend, but
she framed and put it above Carlo's desk, so he always has to be reminded by how good of a Yahtzee game.
Yeah.
He never wants to play Yahtzee because he knows he can never attain.
Well, I don't even have Yahtzee. Do you have Yahtzee?
All you need to do for Yahtzee is have 6 dice. We have enough boxes we can get dice around.
Fair enough. Well, if you want to play Yahtzee, I will gladly try it out with you sometime.
Maybe we'll do a Yahtzee next time we go to the cabin.
Fair enough. Wait, how do you feel about Marvel United being on top of a game, whereas Marvel Champions is under all the games?
I haven't played Marvel United, but there's some reasons why I never really gravitated towards trying it. It never appealed to me the same way. So I feel like at the very least, Marvel Champions should be higher up than Marvel United, or put Marvel United underneath Marvel Champions so the Marvel games are together as well. Easy fix.
Right. Question for you. Do you approve of or disapprove of military time on the clock 2014?
Ooh, interesting. I'm not a fan of military time. I'm a fan of non-military time. Just because.
So you like just looking and having to guess whether it's day or night?
Well, I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I think oh my God, is that AM or PM? If I'm being perfectly honest.
But if you were to get into that situation, you'd immediately regret it and wish you had military time.
If I move to the Arctic or wherever they have those periods where it's 4 months of sunlight and no night, or
Arctic,
vice versa.
Saskatchewan, right? Or there's places not that far where they don't have. There's times in the year where they don't really see the dark a lot, right?
You're telling me right now that you think that people who live in Saskatchewan often forget whether it's
I
AM or
didn't say
PM.
often. I didn't say often.
They would have to be often to have a specific military time setting in your clock.
I brought it up because I know a lot of people rag on military time, but I love it. Set the microwave at home on military time, all kinds of
Did
stuff.
you actually?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've never noticed that you have your.
Yeah. Our auto cat feeders at home have military time on them.
That's gonna be my next prank. I'm gonna sneak in there, or one day, or next time you ask me to feature cats, I'm gonna switch everything to regular non-military.
Well,
time.
I'm gonna switch your own to military time because you don't know how to read them. Wait, your microwave right now says 0:20.
Yep, it's reminded me how much I can't do it. It's how much.
What time is that?
I took food out of the microwave when there was 20 seconds left, and I was an animal and didn't change it. So.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, so that is the entire collection. We do have a couple other games that were highlighted here that he got as Christmas gifts that he hasn't added. That is Mariposa's Sushiko Party, Sagrada Expansion, and King of Tokyo Black.
Right.
I have not played any of them except for Sushiko Party because I haven't played the Sagrada Expansion. But I've heard good things about them, and I know people love King of Tokyo, so it seems like good hauls for Christmas as well. And I say Christmas because I think when he sent us his collection, it was like February or March or something, so it would have been closer to Christmas. But.
Right. I also have to give a shout out to Reggie, who's in our Discord, and his little Discord avatar is one of the paintings from Modern Art, which I absolutely love. One of the nicest Rafael da Silveira paintings from the game. So nice choice there, Reggie. And I wonder if maybe he has picked up Modern Art since he sent us this collection.
Mm-hmm. And that is those are all the collections we're going to roast today. So yeah, we had a lot of fun doing this again. We always do. It's just again, anything we say here, take it all in jest. Obviously, we just love that people.
Maybe you say that, but I meant every word of it.
Anything I say, take in jest. Anything Carlo says, you can reach Carlo.
Agricola's better than if he's from.
I was about to give your phone number. I'll put it on the screen. People can call Carlo and let them know. Yeah, thank you so much for sending them in. And if you want to send in your collection, head to the description, or if you don't even really need to do that, just go to send an email to allyoucanboard@gmail.com. All we need from you is we need a photo, a high-res photo of your collection. If you want to leave us any notes or anything you think we need to know. And if you are specifically a patron, let us know that you are a patron. Normally we catch it, but there are some times that we don't, and we want to make sure that patrons get featured because that's sort of a perk, an extra perk of signing up to be a patron. But yeah, that's all you have to do. Send us your collection. We have a backlog, so you might not get yours featured anytime super soon, but we are going to eventually go through them all, so we will feature them.
Absolutely.
And otherwise, thank you so much for watching and for sending in all these collections as well. And we would love to hear from you in the comments, specifically the people that we've roasted. Any answers to questions we had?
Yeah, definitely let us know.
Any insight, or if you guys have any thoughts on the collections or thoughts on our critique of them, let us know in the comments as well. Otherwise, we will see you next time.
See ya.